Hello and welcome to the monthly mentoring system, the anxiety breakthrough system. And before I say anything today, the first thing I really want to say is a big thank you for having the guts, for having the courage to actually get off your ass and do something about the situation that you find yourself in. I know it takes a lot of guts, a lot of soul searching before you decide to do something like this. And you probably got that certain point in life where you just think, well, I don't really have many more options to take. I just need to do something about it. And somehow you've stumbled across me and you've decided that I'm the guy that's going to help you to do this. And I'm going to help you absolutely to get the life that you want for yourself. And I don't just say that willy-nilly or just trying to impress you. I've been doing this now for 20 years and worked with a lot of people, over 1,000 people in 20 years. And the vast majority of people I've worked with do get a massive benefit. The difference is phenomenal with people I see on a weekly basis. So I'm sure that we're going to have the same success for you. Now, one thing I want to say is that if you've got this video first before you've read the PDF, you must stop the video. It's very, very important that you actually read the PDF first before you actually watch this video. And the reason why is because it will just make more sense to you if you've read the PDF first. If you just watch the video first and then you'll think, what the hell are you on about? So definitely read the PDF first, and then when you watch this video, you're going to get some good insights to it. So without further ado, let's crack on. And like I said on the information that you read before you even purchased this is going to be raw. This is going to be blunt. This is going to be non-scripted. I'm just going to tell you how it is. If you're offended by the odd F word, this isn't the program for you. So, if you're adult and you're mature enough to be able to listen to that, the odd word might slip in there. So that's what happens when I get excited. I am truly excited today about helping you guys here today. Now, the first thing you'll find on the PDF was your anxiety has been lying to you. And that's very, very true, because when you come to understand that, all the things that you thought that you were scared of weren't actually scary at all. What you've come to understand now is that you were scared of your thoughts. And the reason why you were scared of your thoughts is because you were listening to the wrong part of your mind. You were actually listening to the idiot of the mind, the 4-year-old child, the conscious mind for your daily newsfeed. And because of that, it's took you down the wrong road. And like it says on the PDF, would you ever ask a 4-year-old child for advice? No? Of course you wouldn't. Because they don't have the brains to be able to advise you. But every time that you listen to the conscious mind, that's exactly what you're doing. You're actually consulting a 4-year-old child for your life advice, for your relationship advice, for your work advice, all that different advice. And when you do that, well, the 4-year-old basically doesn't know the answers. And out of default, the conscious mind is a fault-finding mind. So it's only ever going to give you the most ridiculous, nonsensical scenarios that it can come up with. Because it wasn't designed for running your life by. The conscious mind was only designed for quick thinking. Like, when do I cross the road? How much toothpaste do we put on the brush? It doesn't know how to run your life, run your personal life, run your finances, run your private life, or anything like that, because it just doesn't have the brains to do it. So, with that in mind, we've got to make a switch. Because we can either go down the old way, doing the same things we've always done, or we can do things in a new way. Now, I'm betting my entire life fortune, which isn't that much to be honest, that you haven't bought this program just to do the same things you've always done. Because you know that if you do that, you're going to get the same results you've always got. So instead, we're going to do things a new way. So that from now on, any thought that pops into your mind that is confusing, frustrating, or negative, you must understand that that does not come from your wise subconscious mind. Your wise subconscious mind does not think in the realms of I'm confused, I'm frustrated, I'm negative, because it wouldn't be wise to do so. So if you get information that pops into your mind like that, even just a silly thought, you hit the choice point in your life where you either accept that thought or you reject it. And I urge you to reject it, because no good can come from it. You know from past experience that listen to your conscious mind has only ever took you down the wrong road, the bad road. So we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're going to start to dismiss those thoughts as and when they come in. So when a thought comes into your mind that's confusing, frustrating, or negative, you're going to hear the sound poof, and you make that thought fly away. Maybe give it a comet's trail on the end of it as it rattles and falls into a bin. And at the same time, hear the words, there goes another stupid thought. Now, if that thought pops out of the bin again into your conscious awareness, you're going to whoosh or poof that thought away. Whatever works for you. Even if you've got to do it 20 times, you must do it. In order for that thought to stay in that waste paper bin of your mind. And every time that you do that, every time that you poof one of those thoughts away, what you're actually doing is that you're actually retraining your brain, and you're actually sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind that, you know something, this thought is of no value. I need you to start putting that in the bin automatically. And what you're doing every time that you get rid of those thoughts in that manner is that you're retraining your brain, and in the end, it will start to do it for you automatically. Your subconscious mind learns very, very quickly that what you're doing is teaching it, and it's teaching it in a very, very basic way. And that's how it likes to learn. What you're basically doing is you're creating a new habit, and in about roughly 20 to 30 days, you'll have reprogrammed those old negative, silly, daft thoughts. You know the ones I'm talking about, the worst case scenarios where you imagine everything going wrong. You'll have reprogrammed your mind so that you no longer think about those things. Okay? So your subconscious mind is what you're going to be using and helping along with that process. Now your conscious mind, it doesn't want just to let this go. It is going to have a little bit of resistance, and it's going to tell you a few things. The first thing it's going to tell you is that you can't do this, that it won't work, and that you shouldn't bother because everything you do doesn't work. Now, a big surprise that the conscious mind says that, because that little guy in that mankini with no balls always says that. So he's going to say the same about this, because he pulls everything apart and finds fault with it. So everything that tells you that you can't do it, or you won't be able to do it, or it won't last, or any of those other silly things that that 4-year-old brain in a mankini gremlin person tells you, you're just going to dismiss. It's all part of the same stuff. So be careful about that, and come to understand that it will try to do that. It will try to, knock you off this little journey. But what you need to do is to basically say, come on then, I know, bring it on. I know who you are now. I've seen what you look like. You look pretty pathetic. And in the past I've listened to you, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Because I come to understand that whatever you've told me in the past was nothing more than just chatter. Conscious mind chatter that was never meant to be listening to. Because there's no big surprise to find that the happiest people in the world, they rarely listen to that chatter. That doesn't mean they don't have it. That doesn't mean that it's still not going on in the background in their minds, but they've either learned not to listen to it, or they've just evolved just not to pay attention to it. And that's what you must do, because every time that you pay attention to this conscious mind chatter, what you're basically doing is you're giving it a power over you. You're allowing it to flood your mind. And as we stated in the PDF, every thought that you think has a physical effect. It will affect your emotions. It will make you feel lousy if those are the thoughts that you think. Now that's quite a big thing to take in, because a lot of people think that, I just feel anxious, or I just feel lacking in confidence. But in reality, it can't happen by itself. It happens through the thoughts that you think. Now, the thing with thoughts is, especially negative thoughts, you almost get used to thinking that they are helping you in some way. Almost as if, like, by me showing you what could go wrong in this movie that you're imagining, I'm helping you to prepare for it. In reality, you are not prepared for that downfall at all. What you are doing is you're literally setting up negative scenarios that, I'll be honest, in most cases never happen, but you can actually make things happen negatively by imagining those things. And then you almost say, well, I knew it was going to happen. What you've actually done is you've actually planned it to happen. You've thought the thought and you've imagined it very, very quickly. You felt the feeling, then you've got into the event and it's happened. So you must be very, very careful what you think about. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be analysing every single thought from now on, because we're going to make it very, very simple. Every thought that you have, it either takes you towards your goals or away from your goals. Very, very simple. So when a thought pops into your mind, does this thought take me towards my goals or away from my goals? If it's away, you're going to poof, get rid of that thought, put it in the bin. And I'll tell you how fast it is in reality. Thoughts come in, good, bad, bad, poof. There goes another stupid thought. As fast as that. You don't analyze it. You don't have to surround yourself in crystals or meditate or any of those other things. It's on the fly. You're going to do it really quick. And you must do it for roughly 20 to 30 days in a row in order to establish this as a habit, as a new way of thinking for you. So, that's quite a bit to think about. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Now here's the thing, if you understand what I've said today and you understood the PDF, that then becomes knowledge. Knowledge that can't be unlearned. And even if you tried now to go back and tell yourself that your mind, you have no control over it, you know that you'd be lying, because if you're not running your mind, who is? That's a big question. If you're not running your mind, who is? So, your homework for this month, it probably wouldn't harm to have another read of the PDF, because there's quite a lot to take in. Bearing in mind that you've been running your mind a certain way for quite a while, it's going to have a little bit of resistance, if you like, to the new ways of thinking. And I'll be honest with you, the resistance is generally just not believing it could be that simple. That's the biggest thing. The biggest resistance I ever have when working with people is that they've been brainwashed into thinking that in order to make changes in your life, it's got to take a long time, that you have to go through this big, long struggle. And it's absolutely not true. Changes happen very, very quickly. So if we want to make this thing stick, use that 20 to 30 day scenario there. So as and when a thought comes in, if it takes you away from your goals, if it's confusing, frustrating or negative, you're going to poof or whoosh that thought away, whatever sound effect you prefer to use. And you do that for 20 to 30 days. Okay. So what you once thought was a very complex issue that you had, you couldn't understand that your anxiety was a lie. You weren't scared of those things after all. You were scared of your own thoughts. It was the way that you were thinking about them in the past. And I'm talking about them now in the past tense because that's how I want you to start to think about it. I used to have anxiety. I used to feel that way. I used to run my mind that way. But I don't anymore. Why? Because I don't have to. Because I'm not a robot. Because I'm not a computer or a microwave oven that's just programmed to do things. I'm a free thinking individual who can choose how I think and what I think in the same way I chose to listen to this video right now. So, with that in mind, that's your homework for this month. And it might sound like you've got quite a lot of work to do, but in reality, I'm only asking you to do one thing. Dismiss all negative chatter into the bin. And what you will find, because you're not thinking that stuff anymore, you will just feel more confident. You'll just feel more relaxed, more at ease. And that's how you will feel permanently. Okay, not permanently. You don't always have a perfect day, but you'll feel more like that in your life. Because that's how you should feel. Living where we live now and being what we are now in this planet. And the only reason why you weren't is because you were listening to that little gremlin with a 4-year-old brain with no balls. So I know it's a tough choice, but I know which one you're going to take. So congratulations again for taking this bold move and deciding to take charge of your life. You won't regret it. So till the next lesson, we'll see you soon.